Carol Burnett names the 5 most evil people in Hollywood. For over 5 decades, Carol Burnett has been America's comedy sweetheart. The red-haired wonder whose infectious laugh, remarkable talent, and genuine warmth made her a television legend. Her groundbreaking variety program, The Carol Burnett Show, ran for 11 seasons and earned 25 Emmy Awards, cementing her place in entertainment history. But behind that radiant smile and legendary ear, TUG lies a woman who has navigated the treacherous waters of Hollywood with remarkable resilience. Throughout her storied career, Burnett has encountered individuals whose behavior revealed the darker side of show business. People whose actions toward her range from personally hurtful to professionally devastating. Carol is America's sweetheart, but she's no pushover, revealed a former CBS executive who worked closely with Burnett during her variety show's heyday. She has an incredible memory, not just for comedy sketches, but for how people treated her along the way. She keeps mental notes about who showed their true colors when power or money was on the line. According to those closest to her, Burnett has privately maintained a list of entertainment figures whose actions earned her lasting contempt, individuals whose behavior she considered not merely disappointing, but genuinely malevolent. While her public persona has always emphasized positivity and grace, private conversations and occasional candid moments have revealed the names that would top her personal Hollywood blacklist. Tonight, we reveal the 5 individuals who Carol Burnett reportedly considers the most troubling personalities she encountered throughout her extraordinary career. People whose actions behind closed doors revealed a character starkly different from their carefully crafted public images. Now, let's explore the 5 names that reportedly earned Carol Burnett's deepest disapproval. Individuals whose actions she considered truly unethical or cruel, revealing a darkness beneath their carefully crafted public images. 1. Joe Hamilton, the husband who stole her work. When Carol Burnett married Joe Hamilton in 1963, it seemed like the perfect union of personal and professional compatibility. Hamilton, a producer and music director, had worked with Burnett on The Gary Moore Show and understood the entertainment industry from the inside. As producer of The Carol Burnett Show, he appeared to be her most devoted champion, the behind-the-scenes partner who helped bring her creative vision to life. They were television's power couple before anyone used that term, recalled a former CBS executive who worked closely with both. Joe had the technical production knowledge. Carol had the creative genius and star power. Together, they seemed unstoppable. For nearly 2 decades, their marriage appeared to represent that rare Hollywood success story. A couple who could collaborate professionally while maintaining a strong personal relationship. They raised 3 daughters together and built what seemed from the outside to be an ideal family life alongside their television empire. The reality, as Burnett would discover, was far more disturbing. Secretly formed Hamilton Productions and claimed ownership of spin-offs like Mama's. Family revealed a former business affairs officer at CBS who had access to the contractual arrangements. While presenting himself as Carol's partner in every sense, Joe was quietly establishing separate corporate entities designed to control aspects of her creative output. The full extent of Hamilton's machinations only became apparent during their divorce proceedings in 1984. Court documents revealed that Hamilton had methodically positioned himself to claim ownership rights to intellectual property developed during the Carol Burnett Show, including characters created and portrayed by Burnett herself. The Mama's family situation was particularly shocking, explained an entertainment attorney familiar with the case. The character of Mama, played by Vicki Lawrence, originated in the family sketches on Burnett's show. These were some of the most beloved segments, largely created through Burnett's collaborative process with her cast. Yet, Hamilton had structured things so that when Mama's Family was spun off as a separate series, his company maintained significant ownership and control. Beyond these professional manipulations, Hamilton allegedly engaged in personal betrayals that compounded Burnett's sense of having been fundamentally deceived throughout their marriage. Hid assets, cheated, then coldly said, "It's business, not emotion," recalled a former accountant who worked with the couple. When Carol confronted him about using their marriage to gain control of her work, he responded with a callousness that shocked everyone present. It was as if the mask had finally dropped, revealing a calculating businessman who had been playing a role for 18 years. Burnett divorced Hamilton and engaged in a protracted legal battle to reclaim what she considered rightfully hers. Not just financial assets, but the creative characters and concepts she had developed throughout her career. The process was both emotionally devastating and professionally challenging, requiring her to fight for ownership of her own artistic legacy. What truly devastated Carol wasn't the end of her marriage, explained a longtime friend who stood by Burnett during this difficult period. It was the realization that someone she had trusted completely, who had shared her bed, raised children with her, and been privy to her most vulnerable moments, had been calculating how to profit from her talent the entire time. That level of premeditated betrayal struck her as genuinely evil beyond normal human failings. For Burnett, whose own childhood had been marked by adult betrayal, Hamilton's actions represented a particularly painful repetition of familiar themes. Trust exploited, vulnerability weaponized, and love revealed as manipulation. The experience reportedly left her with a lasting weariness about combining business and personal relationships. Joe wasn't just her husband, said a former cast member from the show. He was the person who was supposed to be protecting her interests while she focused on the creative aspects. Finding out he had been quietly setting up mechanisms to control and profit from her work was like discovering your security guard had been moonlighting as a burglar. Why he's on the list? Backstabbing betrayal at both the professional and personal level. A man who systematically plotted to control her creative legacy while maintaining the facade of a loving husband for nearly 2 decades. But wait until you hear about the comedy legend who humiliated her in front of the entire cast. I thought I didn't handle anything. He had me a yes, didn't he? Had me had 2 Harvey Korman, the friend who turned on her for a decade. Harvey Korman stood alongside Carol Burnett as one of the pillars of her groundbreaking variety show. His impeccable timing, versatile character work, and legendary inability to keep a straight face during sketches created some of television's most memorable comedic moments. To millions of viewers, Korman and Burnett seemed to share a special chemistry that reflected genuine friendship and mutual respect. Behind the scenes, their relationship was indeed close and collaborative until a shocking incident reportedly changed everything and earned Korman a permanent place on Burnett's list of profound disappointments. Once her most trusted co-star on The Carol Burnett Show, noted a former director who worked on the program for several seasons. They appeared inseparable on screen and off, collaborators who brought out the best in each other creatively and seemed to genuinely enjoy each other's company. This collaborative relationship extended beyond the cameras, with Burnett and Korman often socializing together and supporting each other through personal and professional challenges. Burnett had stood by Korman through difficult periods and had been instrumental in building his career as a television star. Carol was always Harvey's biggest champion, recalled a former writer for the show. She fought for his salary increases, gave him opportunities to direct, and made sure he received proper recognition for his contributions. She treated the cast like family, and Harvey seemed like the brother she never had. This context made what happened next all the more shocking to those who witnessed it. According to multiple production team members, the relationship deteriorated dramatically during the show's later seasons as Korman's ego apparently expanded along with his fame. What had been occasional moments of creative tension or normal professional disagreements allegedly evolved into something far more troubling. Verbally blew up on set, publicly disrespected the team, and took a direct dig at Carol, recalled a stage manager who witnessed the incident that reportedly marked the end of their professional relationship. It wasn't just unprofessional, it was deliberately humiliating, happening in front of the entire production staff and cast during a rehearsal for what would have been a major sketch. While accounts vary slightly about the exact content of Korman's outburst, insiders describe it as a calculated attempt to undermine Burnett's authority and diminish her contributions to the show's success. According to those present, Corman questioned Burnett's creative decisions, dismissed her ideas, and made comments suggesting that the show's popularity came despite her leadership rather than because of it. He essentially tried to stage a coup, explained a camera operator who was on set that day. It felt like he'd been building resentment for years and finally decided to make a power play. But he miscalculated badly. He didn't realize how beloved Carol was by literally everyone else on that set. What made the betrayal par?